I want to install this video doorbell camera, but I'm not allowed to drill any additional holes in the door or frame. Plus, there is no existing doorbell for power. Using standard video doorbell installation procedures won't work, so I'm doing my own DIY install, and it has power too.
Fracking Creations, showing you the good stuff.
Disclaimer and warnings. This video is for educational and entertainment purposes only. There are always risks associated with DIY work where you can get hurt or damage property. Read our full disclaimer at the bottom of the video description. DIY Video Doorbell Peephole Mount. For this DIY, I will install this Eufy E340 video doorbell camera on the door. This is the battery-powered version. Note that this method can potentially work for other video doorbell cameras too, but additional modifications may be required. The solution to not have to drill any additional holes in the door or its frame is to use the existing hole for the peephole viewer. I came up with a fairly simple way to do this. Everything I use has been purchased online. I'll include the links in the video description. My solution is to use this video doorbell door mount with a slight modification. This specific mount is meant for the Eufy E340 video doorbell. If I have a different model or make of video doorbell camera, I would look for a mount specific to those video doorbells as a starting point. I also purchased this new peephole viewer to use since I will be taking the lens out and I need to keep the original one unmodified. The original peephole can be put back if I want to remove this video doorbell. Note that there are different sized peephole viewers, so I take the one on the door out to measure before I order one. Ideally, it should be the exact same one as the one in the door. When planning this, I can see that there is just enough space for the peephole viewer to sit in between the video doorbell's plastic mount and the metal door mount. The two mounts would actually hold the peephole in place. So the first step is to place the two mounts together and find the center position. Then mark it with a center punch. Next, I drill out the hole to the correct size using a step drill. I use a vise since it is safer than hand holding it. Once drilled out and cleaned up, I can test fit the peephole viewer. When I try to assemble the new peephole into the two mounts with the video doorbell, I see that it doesn't quite fit. So I decide to flip the metal mount around and use it backwards. Voila, everything fits now. I will just add some foam tape on the back so that the mount doesn't damage the door when installed. Note that the original peephole viewer does fit with the mount correctly oriented, so depending on the peephole and video doorbell mount, the metal mount may be used as is or flipped around. Anti-theft for video doorbell camera. As with any security camera mount, you want it to prevent easy theft of the security camera. Here are some considerations to take note of. Note that I decided to use my own screws to mount the video doorbell's plastic mount to the metal door mount because the included ones are too small and I don't think they will hold the camera securely. I just need to match the threads. Here's a tip. Before throwing things away or recycling them, take out the screws and store them for future needs. You never know when they will come in handy. Another thing to consider is that the pinhole mechanism used to release and detach the doorbell camera from the plastic mount is not very secure. So I add two DIY methods to better secure the doorbell camera. Lock bolt style security screws plus a pinhole security screw. Find out how to do this in our video doorbell anti-theft video. Video doorbell power adapter. At this point, the video doorbell can be installed on the door without the power cable, if that's what I want. But when I tested the video doorbell without AC power, I estimated that it would not last more than 2 weeks on one charge. In a setting like an apartment, too many people walk by to keep the camera active and using up battery power. So I want plug-in AC power because no one likes to have to frequently unmount and charge or change out batteries. Some doorbell cameras are wired only and need an existing doorbell to power them. Other video doorbell cameras are battery powered but have an option for AC power, like this battery powered Eufy E340 doorbell camera. In both cases, if I want power but don't have an existing doorbell for power, I will have to find another way. My solution is to use this AC power adapter to power the video doorbell. My method will not require additional holes to be drilled into the door or door frame because the power wire will pass through the peephole. In order to power this doorbell camera, I noted that the power requirements are 8 to 24 volts AC and greater than 10 volt amps as stated on the Eufy website. I found an AC power adapter that fits this requirement. At 24 volts AC and 0.5 amps, we get 12 volt amps. And sure enough, a self-test by the doorbell camera confirms it is supplying enough power. Note that this adapter is not approved by Eufy, so it could void the warranty, but I'm okay with this for my install. This Eufy doorbell camera comes with extension cables that have spade terminals. It's not necessary here, but I like a clean install, so I soldered them to the ends of the AC adapter cable and insulated with heat shrink tubing. There's no polarity in this case, so both wires can be used interchangeably. I also have another way to attach the wiring using connectors, and I will cover this later in the video. Next, I take the peephole viewer and push out the lens assembly. For this particular one, it was a lot easier than I thought. That's why I tried hammering it first. Other types may require unscrewing like this one. With the lens removed, the wiring can easily pass through the peephole and connect to the doorbell camera. Installing the video doorbell camera. I now get everything ready for the install. There is a specific order that needs to be followed so that everything fits properly. I don't want to have to undo things because I missed one step. First, I connect the spade connectors to the video doorbell, plug it in, and then power up the camera. Perform all the setup to connect it to the app and make sure that it is detecting the AC power before continuing with the install. If everything is working, then I can proceed. Otherwise, I need to troubleshoot. This next step is important. I unplug the AC adapter and turn the doorbell camera off. I don't want to short circuit anything while doing the rest of the install. For this Eufy doorbell camera, I just press the sync button 5 times within 3 seconds. Next, I remove the existing peephole viewer on the door by unscrewing it and using the slot provided on the rear of the peephole. Remove both the front and rear parts of the peephole. I remove the spade connectors from the video doorbell, then pass the power cable through the rear section of the peephole viewer. I make sure it's in the correct orientation by running the cable from rear to front. I can now pass the wiring through the hole in the door. Next, the wires are passed through the peephole mount assembly and connected to the video doorbell. A very important point here is to turn on the camera. You don't want to assemble everything and then find out you have to disassemble it to turn it on. I then pull all the slack in the power cable out of the mount interface and attach the camera to the mount. I add the anti-theft security screws next. Then attach the camera to the door by pulling the slack in the wiring through the door and sliding the peephole mount into the front of the door. Here I have to be careful not to let the video doorbell drop because it is not secured yet. At the back of the door, I run the rear peephole viewer section to the door, insert, screw in, and tighten back together snugly without stripping the threads. For the wiring, I can use clear double-sided tape to hold it in place along the door and walls. Alternatively, I can use cable runners or cable hiders. Lastly, I plug in the AC adapter and that's it. Bonus: to make the install easier, I could also use these inline wire connectors. I just splice the power cable on the adapter and connect the two ends together using these high-quality German-made inline wire connectors. It simplifies the install because I can have the video doorbell fully assembled and pre-wired before installing it at the door. When installing at the door, I just run the wiring through the door, secure the video doorbell, then connect the power cable ends and plug in the AC power adapter. If uninstalling, I just have to make sure to unplug the power adapter before disconnecting the inline connectors. One last bonus for staying till the end of the video. If you have this Eufy video doorbell, make sure to go to the settings and set it to enable pre-recording. This will allow it to capture 4 seconds before motion was detected. This is a great feature that is only allowed when the video doorbell is powered by wire. If you found this video useful, please like and share it to get YouTube to promote it to more viewers. Subscribe for more good stuff to come.